Well, hi there everyone. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. My name is Kareth and I'm so glad you're here because I've got a delicious recipe to share with you today. This one is for a chicken pot pie, and the recipe is kind of a hybrid between my recipe that I already have up on my channel, which is for a shelf-stable meal in a jar chicken pot pie, and my mom's recipe, the one that I grew up with, which is a traditional chicken pot pie with a homemade white sauce, homemade crust. I'm going to be using a rotisserie chicken, but if you want to use freeze-dried chicken, you could definitely refresh that and then add it to the filling just before baking. I'll put up on the screen the ingredients that you're going to need to make the homemade pie crust mix. This is a great mix. I highly recommend you do that. It's really easy. I'll also put up all the ingredients that you're going to need for the filling itself. Now, in the description box below, I'll put the exact measurements for all these things. Now, my mom always made a homemade white sauce using butter and flour, and the formula for that is just equal parts fat and flour to make that homemade white sauce. If you don't want to do that and you want to just use the Thrive Life bechamel sauce, that's a good option as well. But my mom always made a homemade white sauce. It's like a gravy base, this butter and flour mixture here, and it's fantastic. I love to use this. This is the kind of white sauce that I grew up eating. My grandma made it like this. My mom made it like this. I usually make it like this. It's not hard to do, but you do need to toast your flour. So I think that's where a lot of people miss out, is they don't toast the flour long enough and their white sauce is just kind of bland. If you toast the flour, then you're going to get this really deep kind of nutty, toasty flavor in your white sauce, and it's just really, really good. So to that base, I'm going to be adding some freeze-dried vegetables. And this is like my little cheat here. Instead of refreshing all of those and then sauteing them, I'm going to put them straight into the butter flour mixture and do a really quick saute of these vegetables to impart some extra flavor. And if you do this, you'll be glad you did, because this gives it just an extra boost of yumminess. Now, since they are dry, you're going to have to keep that saute to just a couple of minutes. You'll have to keep it to a minimum so you don't burn them, because remember, they're not refreshed, they're just freeze-dried. So anyway, you'll need to add some liquid pretty soon. So maybe after 2 or 3 minutes, I started adding some milk. I just used the Thrive Life instant milk. I had made a quart of it. I just added that in batches, and as you stir and as it heats, it will thicken up really nicely. And the nice thing about making your own homemade food is you can add whatever vegetables you like to it. So these are just the ones that I grew up eating, these vegetables. But if you don't like green beans, just leave them out. Or if you want more carrots, put more carrots in there. It's totally up to you. Now remember, these are not seasoned, so you will have to add some seasoning to your white sauce and your filling. I'm going to suggest that you keep it very simple. A delicious chicken pot pie does not need complicated flavors. So I've got salt, pepper, just a little bit of thyme, which is optional, and I did add some chicken bouillon powder. And that's really all you need in order to have a delicious white sauce for a chicken pot pie. When that mixture comes to a bubble, you can go ahead and put the lid on it, turn your heat down. I left mine at a 2 out of 10 on my stove, and it needs to cook for about 20 minutes to cook those vegetables through. Meanwhile, you can add the water to your pie crust mix and roll out your pie crust. This amount will make 2 pie crusts, and that's the amount I like to make whenever I make chicken pot pie, just because it will give me enough for my 9x13 casserole dish, and it will also give me some extra pie crust so I can make my kids pie crust sticks. They love those. I grew up eating them. I love them too. This mix is really easy. All you have to do is add ice water, mix it until it is the consistency of Play-Doh, and then roll it out on a floured surface. So I set aside some of the mix to make some pie crust sticks with, And then probably like 2/3 of the dough is what I'm going to roll out in order to put that on top of my chicken pot pie. This pie crust dough is really easy to work with. I think it's the scrambled egg mix that I include in there. And then I have some butter powder that I include for the butter flavor. And then the lard is just an ideal fat to make a tender and flaky pie crust with. All right, let's turn our attention back to the filling. So after about 20 minutes, this is how nice and thick your filling will be. Now I did add about a cup of half and half to this. I like the richness and the creaminess that provides. And you can tell the consistency that this is. You can add more liquid if you need to thin it out. Give it a taste and adjust for seasonings. I added some rotisserie chicken, and when I stirred it in, I realized, you know what, the filling is just too thick at this point, especially because you're going to bake it and it will thicken even more. So I thinned mine out with some water. I ended up putting about a cup of water into that filling. I'll put all of these recipe notes down below in the description box. At that point, you can transfer your filling into the casserole dish. And this gave us about 4 really large servings. It was more like 5 servings of chicken pot pie. And then you can just roll out the pie crust dough on the top. I like to tuck in my edges. And then I always poke some holes with the tines of a fork. If you want really nice, good browning on your crust, you can add a little milk wash or something like that, but that's optional. I went ahead and baked this for probably about 20 minutes. And then this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. It's beautiful. You do need to let this sit for probably 10 minutes in order to tighten up a little bit. If you cut it too soon, the filling is pretty runny at that point and it'll just run. But if you'll let it sit for about 10 minutes, it'll be nice and thick. And there are those gorgeous little pie crust sticks. Those are the ones that I always make whenever I make chicken pot pie soup. I serve those with the soup. All right, at this point, my family has already eaten, and I ate with them too. We were all really hungry, so I waited to film this portion of the video. But I just wanted to show you how wonderfully nice and flaky that pie crust is. And then the filling is just so perfect. Y'all, this is just a great recipe. It's my favorite version of chicken pot pie. Although I love the recipe I have in my cookbook. In my first cookbook, I have a chicken pot pie recipe that's completely shelf stable. It's a meal in a jar. It's a great recipe. It uses that Thrive Life brand of bechamel sauce. It's a great recipe, okay? But this one is my favorite because it reminds me so much of my mom with that homemade white sauce. And then bringing in all of those Thrive Life freeze-dried veggies to make the chicken pot pie. I mean, that is fantastic. They're much better than the mixed frozen vegetables you can get. It's just the Thrive Life veggies taste amazing. You'll get that crisp, tender texture, the sweetness from the vegetable. It's just so good. So definitely using Thrive Life vegetables in everyday cooking. This is the way to go, y'all. I just can't emphasize enough the absolutely delicious, flaky, tender pie crust. Definitely make that if you haven't before. It's really easy to work with. It's like a no-fail recipe. Mine always turn out, and I can mess them up royally and they still taste good. And that right there, that is a wonderful bite of chicken pot pie. I think this chicken pot pie is better than anything you can get at a restaurant. It's definitely better than the stuff that you can buy in the freezer section of the grocery store. This is ready in under an hour, and the homemade goodness, it's just so delicious. Definitely made with love. let me tell you about my cookbooks that I have. So for the past 2.5 years or so, I have been creating recipes for my YouTube channel for meals in jars. So they're completely shelf-stable meals, and I have more than 160 recipes at this point up on my channel. All of the recipes are free for everybody, but I did have people encouraging me to put them into the form of a cookbook. So I did that. My first cookbook came out last summer, and then I just released my second cookbook last month, and they are full of fantastic family favorite meal in a jar recipes. Both of them are available in ebook form, and my first cookbook is also available in print on Amazon. And I am really close to getting finished with my cookbook number 2 print version of that. So y'all stay tuned for that announcement. I'm really excited to get that finished and out to you. So anyway, I will include my links below where you can purchase those cookbooks. I'll also include my shopping link with Thrive Life. If you are interested in purchasing any of the Thrive Life ingredients you see featured in my videos, you can click on that link, and it doesn't cost you anything extra, but I will get a small commission on your purchase, and that always helps me, so I appreciate that very much. Well, all right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope this inspires you to get in the kitchen and open up your cans and start cooking with those freeze-dried ingredients. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again. God bless you. And until next time, y'all take care and keep thriving.